In today's video, we're going to talk about how to nail that perfect cross. Boom. For me, I'm right side dominant, so my cross is going to be my right hand, also known as your number 2. If you're left side dominant, your cross is going to be your left hand. Okay? When you throw your cross, you do not want to drop your hand, because if I throw my cross and I drop my hand before I throw it, so as soon as you drop that right hand, you're just leaving yourself exposed for big shots. That's not what you want. So, just like with the jab, we want to throw that cross straight from our chin. Pump, and then get it back straight to our chin. We want to make sure our punch goes straight down that pipe and it comes straight back. Because if you're throwing your cross from here, you're going to get hit before you even throw it. If you bring it back here, you're going to get hit. You might throw a nice cross, but if you can't return it back to its home, you're going to get hit. Next thing we want to make sure is we rotate that shoulder, we get a full extension in our cross. Because if I'm going to throw my jab to set up my cross, and my jab is landing, every time I throw that jab, it lands. But then when I throw my cross, it's not landing. Our shoulder's at the back. We need to make sure that we rotate our shoulder across our body, and we make sure it comes to the front, and now our jab shoulder is at the back. Because if I throw my jab from here, and I throw my cross, I've got a full extension, but see how far my jab is, how far my cross is, that's because my shoulder's still at the back. So when I throw that cross, I need to get a full extension, full rotation in my shoulder. To get that power, you need to get that full rotation. To get that shoulder rotation, we need to focus on our footwork. Okay? So, if I'm going to be in my fighting stance, and I throw my cross and I keep my foot out, I'm not going to be able to get that full extension because my hip can't turn. If my hip can't turn, my shoulder won't be able to turn. So as I throw that cross, I want to make sure my foot turns so I can turn my hip. Because if I throw my cross from here, my foot's facing away, I won't land it. Where if I turn my foot, allows my hip to rotate, allows my shoulder to rotate, I just get that extra reach in my cross. So when I throw my cross to my opponent, it's going to land nice and hard because you're putting so much power into that shot and you're covering so much distance, so by the time the cross gets to your opponent, your punch has generated so much speed, it's 9-9 for your opponent. Okay. But kickboxing, one thing you want to make sure is when you throw that cross, okay, if you want to set up your kicks, you need to open your stance a little bit wider, because if I'm going to throw my cross from here and I'm not trying to throw my kick, I'm kind of like blocking myself, or I'm not going to really have that power because I'm just too narrow holding my stance. So what you're going to do is you're going to open your stance. You're going to make your stance quite wide, because as soon as you throw that cross, you can set up your kick. For me, one of my favourite combinations is cross straight into a kick, because as soon as you throw that cross, your opponent might step back and they think they're in safety, and that kick follows. Okay. So when you throw your cross, same principles as with the jab. Keep everything nice and tight, don't flare your elbow out, don't drop your hand as you bring it out, don't drop your hand as you bring it back. Said, if you want to look at some drills we did for the jab, just go back to our previous video and check it out there. Next, you're going to move on to the bag. So what you can do is just put your jab out, okay? Put your jab out, keep it nice and long, and then so you know that's your reach. If your jab touches the bag, you know your cross will land. So from there, keep that jab nice and long. Whenever you're ready, just get it out. Whenever you're ready, just rip one in. So here I'm focusing on landing that cross without making too many steps. So just stay nice and long, stay nice and long. Trying to get a full extension. Not trying to get my chest over my lead knee too much. Just so that's trying to practice your cross nice and long. To get a bit more power in your cross, what you could do now is change it up a little bit. When you're going to throw that cross, okay, you're going to step in. So now that little step is putting a bit more body weight into that punch, which means more power. So I'm just going to use my jab, and I'm going to throw my cross. This sounds like I'm going to throw it. I'm going to step in and put more body weight behind that punch. So here, just using my jab, making that step. That step now allows me to put my entire body weight behind that punch. Go to the body a couple times, go to the head a couple times, and so on. When you throw that cross, you want to have that intent of trying to hurt your opponent. Okay, you want to get your body mechanics right first, then you want to start using your intensity. Then Now it's consistency, doing it the same level every day. I've got that cross. I always want to make sure that every time I throw that cross, it lands perfectly, okay? Well, I won't achieve it by doing it once. I have to do it every day. Follow my fight journey on Instagram at Rob_Zab, and I'll see you soon, guys. Boom.